Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 206. And in this one, we will be discussing the game last night, and we will be previewing the Coventry game because, like I've said, it's my birthday tomorrow. I'm going out in the evening, so I won't be able to do it at the usual time. However, if players are back tomorrow, then I will do a video during the day because it comes out a bit earlier, doesn't it? Around about 2 p.m. In the UK, so I'll do that and then talk on if I change my lineup that I would go with and stuff, and stuff like that. But first of all, Dad, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks, mate. Hope everyone's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So we took on Sunderland, as we know. Going into it, I said a win. I thought we'd have a lot of confidence from that Watford game. You could see it in the way that we were playing in the game. Obviously, you said a draw, Dad. We do like a draw against Sunderland over the years, quite draw heavy with them. But the lineup was Kaminsky in goal. Shout out to Kaminsky. Obviously, it was his birthday as well. So, 2 days before mine. That's no wonder he's on the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. The back three was Hashioka, McGuinness, and Holmes. I mean, there was a few worries just because they haven't played with each other, all together in that sense. But, it's good that Holmes and, Holmes was one of them, wasn't he? That was maybe a doubt. So it's good to see that he was in, continuing his, starting for Luton. Obviously, he's been 2 out of 2 games for him now. You had Moses as the wing back, obviously Doughty on the left. That Krause and Clark, and then Chong ahead, and then Elijah and Morris. And then as for your bench, you had a player, by the way, a youngster, by the way, Benaga, I think so you say his name. I think he was literally playing in the game the other day against Reading for the under 21s. So it's good to see that he's there. He could be one for the future that maybe might be on the bench a bit more. Obviously we've seen players like Johnson and that are a bit more obviously developed, but they've had their little go, didn't they? Especially Nelson. So we'll see if he's on the bench more as the season goes on. Brown, Johnson, Krul, Ruddock, Nakamba, Nelson, Taylor, Woodrow. So you look at that lineup, and the one out was obviously Burke out of the 4 that was potentially going to be out. A lot of people said him. I think a lot of that comes down to obviously his injury record not being the best. But it was good that obviously, the likes of Krause was in. Chong was still there as well. That was good because, obviously he's just come back. So that wouldn't have been good to get injured for him again. But, yeah, I mean, there was no complaints really with that lineup. It's probably the best you can go with regarding the injuries, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, it was. But the main thing for me is we kept that formation. Do you know what I mean? Starting Elijah and Morris up front. That's the main thing for me. We didn't know who was out. I was guessing. I guess John, guess Burke. Guessing game, innit? Which we're going to have again for the Coventry game, I guess. Well, at the moment we are anyway. We are. It might come out that Menke's all right, or Burke's all right, or we don't know. We just don't know at the moment. But the youngster on the bench, I think he was 17. I think part of that's obviously because of the injuries we've got as well, isn't it? I'm not sure what position he plays in either. Probably a defender, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's best we could go with at the end of the day. So it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, no, he is actually a defender as well. Yeah, so there you go. That's probably right now the player in ahead of Mengi, just due to Mengi obviously being out in that sense. But yeah, going into the first half, I mean, I'd say a bit of a shaky start again. Similar to the Watford game in ways. Obviously, they had 2 good chances. One that they probably should have put on target, obviously over the bar, and then they had another chance as well, which obviously Moses is a quality player, experience, but this is probably why people do have their doubts when he's playing as a wing back sometimes, and they want to see him higher up, because there was a moment where they got in my opinion, a little bit too easy. And then they had the chance, obviously, the back heel, which obviously Kaminsky saved. And then obviously it come off the defender, then went back towards Kaminsky. So they had a few chances, but as the half grew on, I thought we got into the game. Similar to the Watford game. In that sense, we were playing really, really nice football. People crying about the hoofball, but whatever. It works. It's not fucking illegal to do it, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like it
But
works.
it wasn't for me. It wasn't. We had more
Right.
possession.
It wasn't.
Hoofball and just trying to do that, then you're not going to have more
At the
possession.
moment, right, they looked like they were happy for the draw, and I said it on the watch log. The way they were playing. But yeah, we're playing good bits of play at some points. A lot of corners. There's a moment in the first, I think we had like 4 corners in a row. It's very rampant in that sense, and we got close. We hit the crossbar from one. Our first close effort was the Morris one that went wide. That weren't a bad effort at all. Unlucky, to be honest. And then obviously, like I say, from the corner, we hit the crossbar. McGuinness nearly scored. Always looking at a threat, from attacking corners for us. And he was pretty solid, to be fair, in the first half. Obviously, Luton put a post out, just put the brick emoji, because he was solid, to be fair, in that first half. He's good, carried that momentum on from the last game, and it was good in a lot of stages in this game, especially in the first half, because the press was still on it. Elijah, we thought he'd be a bit more tired, just because how ruthless he was in the sense of the urgency to keep running from the Watford game, but he was doing that a lot in this game as well. And fair play. A lot of players were good again. I think at stages when we did have the ball on the ground, we were playing some nice football. Clark House were linking up really well at times as well. Obviously, Doughty's crossing. It was a bit 50-50 in this game because obviously he got the goal from his cross, but then there was some that a little bit overhit and stuff. It wasn't as good as obviously the last game, but it wasn't as bad as it has been in certain games, i.e. Preston away, for example, stuff like that. But, I mean, when we went in at half-time 0-0, obviously we had the controversy with the goal. Now, Morris was absolutely fuming at the time. And I was thinking, because I didn't see a replay, I was thinking, well, let's see a replay, let's see if he actually, is proper fuming and it shouldn't be the right decision. Looking back at it, it's an absolute disgrace how that's not been given. And the thing that wound me up even more is the fact that the linesman's on the same side as where Morris obviously, took the shot. Clark is not interfering with play whatsoever. You know, and then people try and use the narrative, oh, but he's offside. It don't matter. He hasn't controlled the ball or touched the ball, whatever. It should have stood. It was an absolute joke. Even I see pundits saying it was a disgrace, basically. I think the commentators as well, obviously I didn't have it sound proper up, but they were saying it should have counted as well. It's just a joke, man. And it's just ridiculous because you see a similar thing in a Man City game that stood, which it should have. We said it at the time, Dad, when we were watching it together. But again, it goes back to what I said on the last episode. The consistency, where is it in these decisions? It's just an absolute joke. But what did you make of it, Dad?
Yeah, we were playing better. We looked like the Premier League team at times. We waffle about hoofball. Do you know what I mean? It's and physicality and that they a lot of they're real proper fans and know football and that they know it was their toughest game of the season. And they I've seen other comments. I need to stay off social media because you get some plebs on there, but they were like, "Oh, we played crap, and we still got the win. You need to learn that." Well, we've done that twice this season already. Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday. We were terrible. So know what you're talking about before we talk about it. We looked composed. It was passing it around the back a little bit, not so much. But not everyone tries to play like Man City just because they think they're Barcelona or something. Do you know what I mean? Because they're playing flowing, attacking football. But this is the Championship. Do you know what I mean? The early pace setters hardly ever keep comparing themselves to Ipswich. No, mate. You know, so just for that artist, they were bullying us. You know, it was hoofball, it was this, that, and the other. More possession, more shots, more corners. You know, should have put other chances away. Got unlucky with a couple. The referee, the offside, but he wasn't offside, and the linesman wasn't flagging because he was offside. It was clear he was flagging because he felt probably that Clark was interfering with play, not fouling on the keeper or anything like that, because he went to header it. You know, but I just think that's a bit stupid. I don't agree with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he jumped up. It's a natural instinct for a player. The ball's not really near him when it come to Morris. Do you know what I mean? Would you want him to do? Just stand there? I just think it's bollocks. But it should have stood. I think if we did have VAR, it probably would have stood. But we haven't. But it is what it is. These things do even themselves out over the season. But we'd have went in 1-0 at half time. We wouldn't have lost that game, I don't think. So yeah, it was frustrating.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, at 0-0, I felt, that would obviously give the players more motivation going in at half time because of that decision. I said it on the watch long. Hopefully now that spurs Morris on even more, to get an assist or score himself. And going into the second half, obviously they did get a goal sort of out of nowhere, to be honest. It wasn't the best of passes back from Chong there, but they got the finish in, and it's annoying because we had a chance before that, didn't we? Elijah, good. It was a good save, to be honest. As much as Patterson was wasting time for days, that was a good save. We had that chance before, and you felt like it was going to be maybe one of them games again, especially if them getting that sort of goal with the run of play. That's how I felt at the time with that first goal. But yeah, it was a bit frustrating again, wasn't it, Duff?
Yeah, well, it was a foul on Kraus, I think, and then yeah, Chong. We know he's a bit weak like that anyway. And we should have probably dealt with it defensively. Obviously, after let him to get that shot away. That's going back to our sort of bit defending. Let's have it right. We've got 3 defenders who probably normally, apart from maybe McGuinness, wouldn't be starting as well. But it was a foul leading up to it. Again, VAR probably would have checked that out, chalked that off, I reckon. But it didn't. And we should have still dealt with it. It was frustrating. Should have defended it better. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to it. But, they've got some decent players who are currently, playing out their skin basically, and they're on top form. Whereas we're not. We're still not. It's getting there. But yeah.
Yeah.
Foul on Kraus. It was. Should have been
Obviously,
blown up.
it was Rig as well with the goal. Obviously, he's been one of them players on form for them. And then we did obviously equalise, and that was great because it was Elijah who got the goal finally. Got a goal this season. Obviously, a few people on the preview the other day said he would score. So that was good to see. But that was a good bit of play, actually. Obviously, we've got the free kick. Doughty, brilliant crossing towards the back, which we do try a lot, to Morris. And sometimes Morris will go for it, like he did against Watford. Or sometimes he'll try and play it back in, like he has previously. Obviously, he did in this game as well. Went to Elijah. He couldn't miss from there, let's be honest. And it was good that he got off the mark. That will give him a lot of confidence now. And like I say, he had a chance before. That was a good save, in my opinion. So, it's good that he got off the mark. And from there on in, I was thinking, okay, right, this will be a good opportunity now to go out and try and win this, because we still played well in the second half. You know, relentless in the sense of the pressing and
Mm.
everything like that, and we got the goal. So then we started to believe, you know, especially with the fact for me personally that it was Elijah that finally scored again. You know, I was thinking, okay, all right, we could do this now. Maybe change it up a little bit. You know, bring on Brown at some point for one of the strikers and stuff like that. And obviously that did happen. But yeah, it was good for Elijah to get off the mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like I say, you know, that was cool. That was, you know, from a set piece. Yeah, not hoofball. You know, if you, most teams will cross it into the box. That's what, you know. That's a normal thing. And what I like to say as well pisses me off. But I see the way Man City play. They press you. All right, they press you, but they press you with their passing. All right, so there's two. There's possession based, yeah, and then there's out of possession. Right, it's all part of the game. Yeah, out of possession, we press you. You know, we hustle, we hurry down. We don't give you time on the ball. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Nothing, absolutely nothing. And some of the passing and that what he was doing was good. You know, commentators were saying it. I don't care whether they're saying it or not. We know what we can see. Do you know what I mean? You have more possession if you're playing hoofball. Simple as that. And yeah, it was good, excellent from Morris. This is why they need to play together. I've seen some fans commenting that the opposite. They don't work together. Stop doing it. What are you talking about? Like, we've hardly done it. That's the problem.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Last
yeah,
two games we've done it, one of them scored each.
exactly. Yeah, right. And he could have missed. he didn't, obviously, but you know, thought you never know, right? But I'm glad he got it, obviously, and we deserve that at the very least, anyway.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I was saying at the time. And then obviously 3 minutes later, we concede. You know, a few question marks. You know, was it a foul on Chong? I mean, it did look like Bellingham was holding on to him. To be fair, it weren't the actual tackle where they won the ball. It was when Chong was going forward for me. When he was getting, you know, his arm pulled. Even the commentators were saying it. You know, and usually they're anti Luton. Let's be honest. So you know, it tells you a lot. And yes, we should have defended it better. You know, I said on the watch long, it's one of them again where we concede straight away again, pretty much. Not as early as the other times, you know, like the Grimsby game, the Burnley game, etc. But it's still frustrating. It's still happening. Like, what? Oh, it was just frustrating. And then from there on in, I'm thinking, well, I'll be happy to get a draw now, you know, sort of thing. You know, which I would have took going into it, as much as I said a win, you know, because of their form and obviously the players we got out and stuff at the back. But just with how it went, you know, it was very frustrating, wasn't it? Once again, Dad.
Yeah, it's similar, isn't it? I mean, you foul, whatever. But we've already had. We know once you get after a certain amount of decisions, you know the ref and that is going to be that way. Yeah, so you've got to deal. Clark defending for that was shit. I'm sorry. I don't. This is what we're saying, that at times when he's playing in that midfielder, it doesn't always work. It's better further forward, and you need someone like Nakamba back there. Nakamba probably would have blocked that or dealt with that. You know, if we had Mengi there, it might not have happened. Do you know what I mean? So we can see why, but he turned his back, and I don't know what he was doing really. You just give confident players time and space, then they're going to score, aren't they? And then obviously, like, that's all the highlights that they're showing. They're not showing the little tug on Clark when he got into the box. You know, he didn't dive. Do you know what I mean? I'd say that's probably a penalty. Again, VAR not there, so not involved. Commentators thought it was a penalty. You know, I think it's because he pulled his shirt and then let go quickly. Do you know what I mean? So it almost looked like don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? and then apparently I didn't see the handball thing at the end. But we didn't deserve to lose that game, and it was another good performance regardless. As you could tell, right, I felt like that, and the fans rightly, clapped them off at the end because it was, and they know that they didn't deserve to lose that, and it is about sticking together and and maybe making little changes because defensively, like, I just think we need to learn a bit more. I don't know why, because a lot of the goals we are, they're soft, really. You should be like the way you press, which is causing them to make mistakes and helps you create chances. Then defensively, like, you should be doing that in your box as well. Defending proper resolutely and making sure. Don't the ref ain't give us this. We're half expecting. Just don't expect nothing from them. Do you know what I mean? Play, play to the whistle and all that talk. But it is what it is. I'm not too disheartened because they're top of the league, and you'd have thought we would have a team that was top of the league at points in that game, the way we dominated them. So, if we play like that, get our players back for the rest of the season and such forth, then we should be getting into the playoffs, I would have thought. But I'm not even that fussed about going up, do you know what I mean? After the way it is at the moment and just decisions. Look at the teams that have gone up. And we got all ribbed last season. Oh, you're going to get the lowest points total. You're going to fish what bottom? There's 4 teams that, for the first time after 8 games, haven't won a game, and 2 of them are promoted teams. I think, like Ipswich, the amount of money that they've spent as well. So it's making what we achieved much better. And we played like that. No one was talking about hoofball. We couldn't play hoofball. We had to adapt and things like that. That's what we done. So yeah, hoofball reminded me of Wimbledon and not. What are you waffling? Absolute waffle.
The thing that annoys me about all this conversation, like, we're trying to change it up. Do you know what I'm saying? Because other than the last 2 games, we've been appalling. Oh yeah, guys, we'll just play like that and let you roll us over. No, it's not illegal, is it? And then something that annoys me, right? Patterson, time wasting for days. All right, got yellow card. He got yellow card eventually, but remember Portsmouth away? Kaminsky got it in like the 20 something minute.
They get the yellow card, but I've never seen him get another one.
Yeah,
that's why they carry on doing it, because
stoppage time. He literally
they won't send them off for it. They're bottle jobs, some of these referees.
Yeah, they are. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Faking head injuries.
Yeah, they were doing that a lot. Yeah, like I said on the watch along, they take advantage of that nowadays. If you're really hurt, you're not going to move, or you're barely going to move. Simple as.
If you're that good and you're going to win the league, like some of their fans seem to be thinking, why you're doing like that? You wouldn't need to be going down like that and pretending this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? We kept their players pretty quiet because Bellingham, I think we dealt with him pretty well.
Yeah, he had 1 shot. Other than that, nothing.
He's good. You can see he's good on the ball and that, but we got other players, and some of our players, they again, as a team, they did play well. This is what we ran for. Individually, some of them were better than the team, but now it's a little bit the other way around because some of them players could still be doing better. Do you know what I mean? But let's just leave it. We've got players out and things like that. So, but it is what it is. I'm not too fussed. I did want to hopefully Luton will go down again. No chance. Absolutely no chance, mate. again, waffle. Like it's all this winning mentality. You've got to play like this. Like we got the biggest stadium and thingy, so we shut up.
Oh
You know?
yeah, I know, yeah.
Hey, but we still got to play them again. That's going to be a feisty game. And you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. But
Well, might get
yeah,
robbed again. Did last time we went there. Not in the
I'm not
playoffs, the league game.
overly fussed about it. Burnley lost a hole as well, I think.
Drew.
So, yeah, it happens. And yeah, they'll get punished for some of their shit housery. Both of our clubs probably get a fine or whatever for what happened at the end. But they've got a couple of shit bags in their team. 09, Wickham boy, isn't it? But whatever I like, I don't rate their keeper that highly. Kaminsky's better than him all day long. Yeah, you don't see it, but it is what it is. It's not that deep, I don't think. With the fact the way we played against them, we definitely shouldn't have lost. And again, we're not even still up to full speed. Let's be honest, we're not. So, and they're top of the league, like beating this team, that team, whatever. But so they beat us and Burnley now. But we're shit. We play hoofball, so it don't really count beating us, does it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not. The performance was generally there, and that's the main thing. And like I said, them decisions, the offside and possible penalties or whatever, they do even themselves out. Do you know what I mean? So let's just crack on with the next game. Obviously, we do it ratings and that, but it's going to be a tough game again. So they're under a hell of a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I've said that myself. But yeah, let's get into the player ratings. Jackie's in the chat. Thank you, Jackie. It was a really good performance, but we have to start finishing. Yeah, I agree. And it's just them sloppy moments at times defensively. Like you said, that it is a little bit too easy. You just need to work on that a little bit. But the performance in the sense the pressing was still there, which was still unbelievable in my opinion, to continue that relentlessness. And, good bit of passing on the ground every now and then, was good to see. Good bits of build-up play as well. Decent from the set pieces, when they were good balls into the box, when we had that spell of 4 in a row.
Yeah, and I will say that about Doughty, yeah, he's but we just can't be expecting him to do it every single time. You've got to mix it up. You've got to. Because also when it comes to teams scouting us out and that, they're going to say, look, 9 times out of 10, it goes in here, it goes in here. We've got threats, man. We've got big people who could be scoring, McGuinness, Holmes. Do you know what I mean? Like in the box and stuff. And it just never seems to fall for them that much. I just think you need to mix it up sometimes. I think we've got to be doing that. What if Doughty gets injured? What are you going to do then? Well, who is the plan B? C. I want to know, because there must be other people in training that do it, surely. But that's another thing, slow adjustments. I think we should probably be keeping the 2 up front now or the 1 behind. And just you've got to adjust that midfield and then play with whatever defenders. I think it will keep 3 at the back. Like I say, I don't mind it as long as there's 2 defensive midfielders and then 1. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I don't mind,
especially away games.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the ratings.
Yeah. So starting off with Kaminsky. I mean, a few good saves. Once again, he couldn't really do anything for the goals, especially the second one. It was a good finish. So for me, I will just go 6.5.
Yeah, same. I liked it when he come up near the end and stuff. That was
yeah.
Quite cool.
That would have been a madness if he scored on his birthday. Right, a goalkeeper, that'd have been pretty sick. But yeah. I did think for a second the ball's maybe going to proper go to him and have a good chance. But Yeah,
But yeah, look, I'd give 6.5 because we lost Bailey, but he's kicking out and that is definitely improved. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'd agree with that as well. 7.5 says Jackie, fair enough. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Hashioka. I thought he was decent, to be fair again. He's getting much better aerially, heading the ball away and stuff, and he looks a lot more calmer on the ball. I think there was one moment where Moses played it in front of him, and I think we might have got a corner from it, or we got something from it. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it was much better from him. He's looking good now, coming into his own element, you could say. So I will go again. I'll go another 6.5.
Yeah, same. I thought it was quite, like I say, quite composed. It's his first start for ages. He's basically in that. I think he's not too bad in that position because he's more of a right-sided player. And obviously he doesn't get forward as much as Bell and that. But I think technically he's a right winger, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Maybe we'll see him playing in that position at some point. Because I don't see why we couldn't put Moses in the position behind Morris and Elijah. Do you know what I mean? But obviously when we've got like Burke back or certain players back and that, I wouldn't mind having to see what Hash is like on the right wing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought he'd done pretty well. Made some good tackles, getting stuck in and things like that, like the rest of the team. Yeah, but yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Jackie's going to be 7.5, so the same as Kaminsky for ratings. McGuinness, like I say, obviously Luton put a post out about him being solid in the first half. I thought he was good again. In this game, solid, looking good. Last two games, so I'll go slightly higher for McGuinness. I'll go 7.
Yeah, I agree. 7. He's sort of since his since Mendy's been out, he seems to be thriving. I think because he's in the middle, he's like the main man. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that's giving that boost. But yeah, again, like defensively, we probably should have done better. But you can't blame like him necessarily. I thought he was the better out of defenders as well. So yeah, 7.
Yeah, I agree. Jackie, it's gone with an 8 for McGuinness. Moving on to next player, Holmes. Again, pretty solid. I know a lot of people, in their opinions, give him man of the match. It's not quite my man of the match, but he was good in this game. Like I said at the start of this episode, it was good to see him continuing to start. Now, obviously, partly that's down to injuries, but again, we think he's a good player. He's got a lot to show. And yeah, he was decent in the game. So I'll go with another 7.
Yeah, 7 for me. Like I like him anyway. And you know what I'm saying? He's a lump. He's actually pretty good on the ball as well. And Reading were gutted about letting him go.
Yeah, I spoke to a Reading fan actually.
It'd be interesting to see when Mengi comes back. If he comes straight back in, he probably will. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully we mix and match it a little bit because I think that he's a different type of player. But I think he's got that something about him. Danger from set pieces as well. Yeah, I think I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Did well, says Jackie. 8. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Doughty. So obviously, some good crosses. Obviously, the spell where we had 4 in a row, obviously that was for his good crosses. Just unlucky on the chances there. Obviously, the goal, he was the one who obviously crossed it in to Morris, and then obviously played it across to Elijah. So, a decent game from Doughty. You know, So I'll go again. I'll go at number 7.
I thought he was very good. You know, he's got so much energy, and he like played pretty much every game last season. But as I said, I think we need to mix it up a little bit. But it's not really on him, is it? Like, you know. But I thought he was pretty good. I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Doughty 8 says Jackie. Moving on to Moses. You know, I wouldn't say as good as the last game, but he was still decent at times. You know, he's still a player you start just because he's got that quality and that experience. So for me, I will go with a 6.5.
Yeah, I felt we need to give him the ball more as well. And obviously, I'd like to see him more higher up. But obviously, we can't at the moment because of injuries, etc. But I think it further forward, it'd definitely be more for danger. So he's just doing the job basically. Do you know what I mean? But I still feel that at times we was giving it to him, and he did do actually a very good cross into Morris when Morris took it down and then was slammed it wide. That was good as well. I'll just give him 6.5.
Yeah, fair enough. 7.5 says Jackie. Moving on to the midfield. We'll start off with Kraus. Like I say, good bits of play with Clark, you know, the 1-2s and stuff like that. Some decent tackles from Kraus as well, as we expect because of the type of player he is. So yeah, he was decent in the game, you know. So for me, I'll go another 6.5.
Mm, don't know, I'll give him a 7 because I think that he definitely works hard, but he has got that, you know, that box to box style about him, and he's been bringing that to the team, that to the games. So, you know, he's very good at closing down or nicking the ball off people, things like that, and he's done that pretty well in this game, I thought, while he was on the pitch. So I'll give him a 7.
Jackie's gone with an 8. Moving on to Clark. Obviously, like I said, could have done a little bit better on the second goal. But again, we know he's better higher up. You know, and maybe you might see that change this weekend, especially the fact that we're playing away from home as well. But yeah, I thought in the game, you know, good moments of 1-2 passing again, like we do see from him. Some decent tackles, to be fair, from him at points in the game as well, sliding tackles and stuff. So for me, I'll go another 6.5.
Yeah, I will. But I would have given him 6. Just that defending for that second goal just annoyed me. You can't really be harsh on him about the offside goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think so. And he did nearly get an assist for Elijah as well. But like I say, it's mix and match when he plays in central midfield for me. It can be good, or you know, it's not consistent enough in that position for me. But yeah, I'll give him 6.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Jackie's gone with 7.5. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Chong. Obviously, you know, on the goal, the second goal, I like that he tried to go for the run. You know, it'd have been better if there was maybe some options there for him, you know, when he was driving forward. But yeah, I mean, it's at moments, isn't it, with Chong sometimes? Sometimes he'll hold on to the ball a bit too long. Obviously, the first goal as well, not the best of passes back. So it's an interesting one. I mean, would you maybe drop him the next game potentially? You know, just due to them moments at times. You know, I felt even before this game, you know, yes, he worked hard against Watford, but it's just sometimes taking too long on the ball and stuff. And I felt that Plymouth game, especially, he wasn't great in the first half. You know, if I'm going to be honest, there was another moment in that game where he held on to the ball a little bit too long. So, yeah, not maybe I'd consider it, to be fair, for the game on Saturday. But yeah, as for his rating, I think I'll go over 6.
I'll just give him a 6.5. Exactly it's just not consistent enough at times. So I can see why we put him in there, but if it's not, given that deadly option, and he's scoring goals or constantly creating, I can see why we play him. I can, but it's not consistent enough sometimes. So I'll give him 6.5. And what I'm finding strange about these ratings is like, yeah, you could give them higher, but when you're actually thinking about the bottom line decisions or what happened and that, it also shows for me that we weren't really in third, fourth gear, and we still kind of controlled that game. So that is a good thing. But yeah, I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah, sorry if you can hear that. Someone's speeding up the road, thinking they're well sick in their motorbike. But yeah, shout out to Glimpse in the chat. They're robbing everywhere they go. Yeah, obviously there's a bit of controversy with you guys as well. And I've just remembered we've got that referee on Saturday. The one that got in the way 3 times in the whole game. Oh my god. He got demoted from the Premier League, by the way. Oh dear. So that's going to be fun. But good to see you in the chat, mate. But yeah, Chong said our rating there. 6.5 says Jackie. Moving on to Elijah. Actually, no, we'll start off with Morris. In the game now, he was working hard again. His goal should have stood, as we know. And I felt sorry for him, to be honest. There has been question marks over him as a captain, but the last 2 games, he's shown why he is the captain, in my opinion, especially in the last game anyway. And this game, he was good. He was good. He was working hard again. Obviously got the assist for Elijah to help him kickstart. So Morris will get a fairly high rating from me. I'm going to give him a 7.5.
He's my man of the match. He's getting a 7.5. It's like his goal should have stood. He was close before that. He was, he set up Elijah. He was working hard, driving in the box, trying to. Do you know what I mean? Like, and as a captain, again, he's like I say, he's proven himself. So I'm going to give him man of the match 7.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. When it comes to that, we are playing Coventry away, mate. 8.2 for Morris, says Jackie. Fair enough. Moving on to Elijah. He is my man of the match. I thought, his relentlessness of working as hard again. Maybe we thought he wouldn't be as relentless in that sense, but he was. He got the goal as well, so he got off the mark. For this season, obviously, if Morris's goal stood, I'll be honest, I'd probably give it to him. He'd had a goal and an assist. But Elijah, I'm glad that he kept going for it. He had that chance before he scored as well, which was unlucky. The only good thing Patterson done the whole game, really, we're being honest. But yeah, Elijah, I will go man of the match, so I'll go over 8.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I thought he was, again, not as relentless, but he still was. And then you see he was knackered. I'm glad he's got his goal. He could have had at least maybe another one. And I think he's thriving playing with Morris up top as well. So I can see him scoring more regularly. But, and no doubt it probably, because he come off early as well, it'll start at the weekend. But I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Man of the match for Jackie as well is Elijah. Moving on to the substitutions, made 4 in this game. The first one, Nelson. I mean, you said, Dad, about starting Nelson in that cam role, and that is exactly where he went. I mean, had a few.
Did he?
Yeah, it weren't quite what you thought. Maybe you'd get a ball. I mean, there was a few times, to be fair, that he was playing it into him on the left hand side. He was trying to take on his men. We know Nelson's good at doing that, and we like to see him do that. But in the game, I think I'll just go 6.5.
Yeah, I'll just give him the same. Like, he's good on the ball and that, playing passes and that. He's got that technical ability, that intelligence, to play higher up. Do you know what I mean? Like in the leagues and that, he's got the quality. But I just didn't think it really worked. Do you know what I mean? So I'll just give him 6.5.
Yeah, Jackie's gone with the same. Moving on to Brown, tried to make an impact. Oh, there was one moment, which I don't blame him at all, passing it to Doughty. But then the way he was running, it sort of felt like he could have done the Watford goal and recreated it again, in a way. But, I don't blame him for taking on the passing. If anything, that shows that he's not selfish. Some players will try and take that shot and be a little bit greedy. But he done well when he come on. He tried to make a difference. So I will give him slightly higher than Nelson. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, definitely a 7. Doughty definitely should have scored that, but he didn't, whatever. But yeah, he creates. He's always dangerous. And I wouldn't mind, because we've still got Woodrow and Taylor as strikers on the bench. I wouldn't mind seeing him in that strong position. I think that'd be pretty lethal.
I said it, didn't I? Going into this game, I'd like to see that.
I wouldn't mind that at all. Because he can get forward. Maybe, he can. He can play. I think he could do that position. Get crosses in that as well. But yeah, I'll give him a 7. And then the last two, I'm already just going to give them both 6s because nothing really happened.
No, I have to agree, especially with the Taylor one. Now, I don't know. I just didn't really see the point of bringing him on with that long to go. What was it, like 5 added minutes?
Well, I did because we're throwing everything forward, but it just didn't work out for us, did it? At the end of the day.
It's just annoying, isn't it? Because we thought, play a lot more and stuff. Not obviously start, but come on and stuff like longer, and it just hasn't. And we sort of, seemed like we had the decision of him or McAtee, and obviously we kept Taylor, but I don't know. Now you've got Brown coming back as well. I just don't really see where he's getting a lot of opportunities, to be honest, unfortunately. Woodrow's coming on before him now. There was a time where he wasn't, but now he is again. I do feel sorry for him, to be honest. But yeah, 6. Yeah, I'll say, I agree. Jackie's gone with the same. Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I remember saying on the watch on the 90th minute, oh, come on. It's the only thing. That's the only sub. I like the subs because they're attacking, we're trying to get the equaliser, but it's just that one, the minute, it's just a bit frustrating. But yeah, that is the player ratings. Obviously, you gave it to Moristad, which is his second vote of the season now. I give it to Elijah, which is his first. Obviously, got the goal. So when you get a goal, there you go. It gives you 1, but hopefully that will spur him on now, which I believe it will anyway, because him and Morris are very similar in that sense. They're confidence players. You see what he done to Morris when he got the first, then he got another one in the same game, and he got another one when he come back from injury. So hopefully that happens with Elijah now. That'll be nice. But overall, the performance was there. The manner we lost was just a joke. But a few moments we do have to work on a little bit, just defensively at times, and just the finishing at certain points. But a lot of them we were unlucky, to be fair. The spells where we had 4 corners, that Elijah header in the second half. Just a few other moments. I know Holmes is a centre back, but he had a great start in the second half, which we haven't touched on. We know he can bring it down because he did it against Watford. Just little moments like that. But overall, I'm the same as you, Dad. I'm not too disappointed. I'm just more disappointed at the officiating, to be honest. But then again, that's what happens when you're, you're watching the English leagues, isn't it? So, yeah. That's that when it comes to that. Moving on to the next game, obviously on Saturday, we are taking on Coventry at their ground. Obviously, the last time we went there, we did draw 1-1. We didn't quite manage to watch that one, Dad, but we did get the earliest goal in the whole of the country that weekend. I think it was Lockyer as well, actually, if I remember rightly. It was definitely a centre back. And we got a 1-1 draw. Obviously, the last time we played overall was obviously the playoff final. So we all remember that very well. So, yeah, and we have a good record, a really good record, actually, against Coventry. They haven't actually beat us since 2017. We're unbeaten in the last 10 against them, going from League 2 all the way to the Championship. So, obviously, the playoffs as well. So, very good record against them. We can't underestimate them though. I feel going into this, as much as they've been, poor this season. Obviously we haven't been the best either, but obviously we've been slightly better than them. Obviously there is a bit of pressure on their manager. It's a bit 50-50 from what I can see from their fans. Some fans are saying out, some are saying in, sort of thing. But they did draw the other night against QPR away. I mean, for them two teams, ideally one of them would have wanted to win because they're both in the battle at the moment. They do sit 22nd. Like I say, they're doing slightly less points than us, 2 points less than us, 22nd. Obviously, we are 19th as it stands. If we do win, depending on other results, the highest we could jump is 13th, realistically. So, but there's a lot of other games, obviously, with teams around us playing. So it's one of them, really. I'm not going to underestimate going into it. They do tend to be tight games anyway, even though we are 10 unbeaten. The only one that wasn't tight was when we beat 5-0 on that midweek at Kenilworth Road. Good few seasons ago, I was at that game. That was a great game, obviously, as we know. But I mean, at their ground, it's usually tight. 1-0s, 1-alls. Like I said, 1-all last time at their ground. And 0-0s. Do you know what I mean? So they do tend to be tight. 2-1 in League One. So it's probably going to be a 1-goal win if someone does win in this game. But a bit of insight going into it, like we always do. Won't quite obviously have the other stuff because it don't come out till tomorrow. This is the first meeting between Coventry and Luton since the playoff final. Like I said, Luton are unbeaten in their last 5 league visits to Coventry, winning 2, drawing 3 since losing 7 in a row between 1988 and 2007. Coventry have lost 8 home league games in 2024, 15 games, last losing more such matches in a calendar year in 2011, which was 9. The Sky Blues only lost 3 home matches in a whole of 2023, 24 games. Luton have lost their last 2 away games in the Championship and could lose 3 consecutive away matches outside of the top flight for the first time since February 2020, which was 11 in a row. Jeez. Hadji's Wright has been involved in 13 goals in his last 15 home starts in the Championship, 9 goals, 4 assists, while overall he could score in successive games for the first time since March. So, yeah, he does like a bit of a good goal scoring record at home. Games I can remember this season, the Oxford game, obviously I believe he scored 2 in that in the end. But yeah, that's the thing with them as well. I'd say they're up there like us in the sense of their attack, in the league, but they're just not quite firing, like we were 4 stages. Obviously, Elijah and Morris are now getting into it, especially now Morris is back and now Elijah's got a goal. But yeah, I mean, it's not too great for them. I mean, I had high expectations. I actually said they would be the team that go up this year via the playoffs, but it's just not quite working. I mean, they do traditionally have slow starts, similar to us actually in that sense. But I don't know, it just feels worse this time. Even though last time I think we were in the Championship, they were bottom for in good few games. But I don't know. I just think now there's more expectation, isn't there? So there's more pressure, and yeah, it's just not quite really working out. Coventry at the moment, is it, Dad?
No, I think that, like I said, they're very similar to us. Probably there's still pressure on us at the end of the day as well, but the last 2 performances have kind of changed that. And yeah, it's the first time, they did say we'll see you next season. Right, but there's that little bit of history, the pressure. I think it is going to be a cagey game. And yeah, it's interesting because our away record overall is not great there, but from the fact that we're unbeaten, recent times, and that's good. But as you said, it's always tight sort of games there. And I do think we'll come away with something. I'm pretty confident that we will.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be good. But yeah, we'll get into the lineup going into this game. I mean, We've actually gone with the same, Dad. So I'll just do the one you sent me. So obviously Kaminsky in goal, Hashioka, McGuinness, and Holmes. You've got to bear in mind, obviously, Mengi might be back tomorrow, or
We
Burke.
don't, yeah, Baptiste.
Well, maybe not Burke, but Mengi might be. So if he is, then I would put him back in. I'd put him in for Hashioka and then put Holmes probably on the right, so that Holmes can play anywhere, can't he? Across that back three. Or even keep Holmes there and put Mengi on the right. We know he can do that as well. You can change it there, but this is what we're going with right now. Moses obviously on the right, Doughty on the left, goes without saying. We've gone Nakamba and Kraus. Again, it goes back down to what you said earlier, that the two CDMs, what I said earlier as well, in the sense of we're playing away. So it's better to do that, I feel. And then we put Clark as the cam. And then I'll move that so you can see Morris. Morris and Elijah. Obviously, that goes without saying as well. Like we said, there's a few options you can put in that cam role. You could go with Brown. You have got a lot of options when you think about it. You've got Brown there. You probably wouldn't do it, but you could start Nelson there. You've got Chong there. Do you know what I mean? You've got more than enough options, but decided to go with Clark.
Yeah, I don't think we'll drop Clark. I don't think he necessarily needs to be dropped either, because he hasn't done that bad. Do you know what I mean? But I just think he's better in that position, or in a forward position. Do you know what I mean? If we're not going to play the three at the back anymore, he can still play there. Do you know what I mean? For me, and drop back if needed. But then I think we do need Mr. Cambar, and I know keep saying he's been out and this, that, and the other, but he's got to be up to some sort. You've got to play him to get the minutes and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So Kraus was injured for a while. Well, maybe not as long, but I just think that we need to be starting him more. Because we do miss his tenacity and these impact that he does have in the midfield in them situations. Because he will come back into the box and get the blocks in and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I like I say, especially away, yeah. And like I say, we're basing it on who we know is fit. I mean, like I say, Mengi come back. Who else is Burke? We don't know the extent of that really.
Baptiste, I've got a feeling he might.
Baptiste, yeah. I mean, I was tempted to put him in, but because we don't actually know we've changed it. So, but yeah, it's not going to be too much changes, because the last two performances have been good. You just got to do a couple of switch arounds for me, I think. But it could be exactly the same lineup that started the last game. Let's see.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I say, a large part of that obviously comes down to who's obviously available and back. But obviously, we know Baptiste was on grass. They said, not literally like that. But yeah, obviously, they said the same thing with Anderson. So Anderson's another player. He could be back. He won't start, but he'll be on the bench. That'd be good for options and stuff. But we'll see. Hopefully, we have some players back, more players. That will obviously be great. Burke, I'm not too sure about. I think that might be a few more weeks at least, but hopefully Mengi maybe. Baptiste, I can see that actually. I've got a feeling, but like I say, tomorrow when it comes out, I'll do a video on it and go with my updated lineup, I guess, and just do a little bit more of a preview on it with the other stuff that I usually do. But yeah, that is that. Shout out to Darth Vader in the chat. It's been a while since I spoke to you, mate. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you are doing well and stuff like that. But yeah, it is that time. We will go over to it now. Score predictions, Dad. Now, like you said, you're feeling confident that we can get something out of the game. So, are you backing us to win?
Well, I want to see us win, but I just got a feeling that it's going to be a draw. I think they'll play it a little bit cagey. I don't think they'll go all at us, because I think that could be a bit reckless. We've played two high-paced games as well now. But they'll be confident, but I think we'll end up cancelling each other out. I've just got a feeling. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw again.
1-1 draw, fair enough. As for me, like I said earlier, we are unbeaten in the last 10 against them. They do be cagey affairs, though, even in the games that we have won at their ground. Been narrow 2-1 wins, 1-0 win, and a lot of draws. So for me, you know what? I'm going to back us to get an away win. And we've done it a lot in the promotion season, and it was 1-0 away wins. I'm going to back us to do that in this game. And yeah, goal scorers, do get in your predictions in the chat as well.
Just gonna say Morris.
Morris for your goal. You know what? I'm going to go Elijah again. I think it might be a similar situation like it was with Morris in the sense of it will give him a lot of confidence now to go on and get another one. So yeah, there we go. When it comes to that, Jackie says 2-1 again. Come on, you Hatters. Yeah, that'd be nice. To be fair, I was thinking that I could see Hadji Wright scoring, but I think as much I'm not going to underestimate him. It is a good game to win. Really, I feel. We do have a good record, like I say, and they're not playing the greatest at the moment. And again, another thing which I haven't mentioned actually, they've got really bad records against teams. Obviously, ours is the last 10. You know what I mean? And we do play them regularly. It's not like we don't. But even when they played Swansea, I think it was like the 80s since they last beat them. Sheffield Wednesday, I don't know what it is. They've got a really bad record against a lot of championship sides. So hopefully, for our sake, that continues against us and we win. And it'd be a late birthday present. Obviously, I mean, I guess you could say I got an early birthday present in the sense that Watford win, but yesterday's was the referees decided to rob it off me. So thanks, thanks for that. Shout out to Darth Vader. I hope you're both doing well. I was hoping to make it to the game yesterday, but ended up getting caught out by the M1 closure. Oh man, that's especially when obviously you travel a long way as well. But yeah, man, I mean, hopefully, we'll see each other at a game soon, and obviously we'll talk about it, and then, we'll, meet up for the next game that we're both going to. Elijah and Morris are Jackie's 2 goal scorers. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, they both have the confidence now for sure. Morris will be extra motivated as well, even more than he already has been because of the sense of the goal being ruled out yesterday. So yeah, that is that. When it comes to that, Dad, any final things you'd like to say before we end it?
Yeah, obviously I'm not going to see the game at all because I'm elsewhere. But so in that respect, obviously it won't be given no player ratings because you
I was just thinking about it now. Actually, I might see if because Harry's staying at mine tomorrow and Saturday, I might see if he wants to do them on Sunday, so it saves you because obviously you didn't manage to see it, and he'll be there with me. So
yeah. Obviously, I'll highlights and I'll catch it where I can and things like that, and read go YouTube obviously and things like that, and obviously I'll be talking to you, won't I? But that, but yeah, the performances are there. That's the main thing. Excuse me. Probably playing them at the right time, but we can't be complacent. Let's see how bad they are this season because I haven't really watched a lot. I've just seen that they've got a good win against Blackburn, I think, but other than that, they haven't really performed. Similar to us,
It was like that for large parts, yeah.
Well, they'll obviously be up for it, because of Wembley and things like that. So, but yeah, just,
yeah. No, yeah, like you say, looking at their results. Watched their Oxford game because that was a Friday night. But obviously, a lot of people predominantly watched the Premier League because that's when Premier League was back on the first game week. But yeah, there are other games I ain't really watched. Well, actually, other than the other day, Tottenham game in the League Cup as well, which they're very unlucky. And to be fair, I did watch their highlights against them guys down the road just because I wanted to see how they done. It was end to end. It probably deserved to be a draw, if I'm being honest. But yeah, other than that, I think they had a really poor record against Norwich. That continued 1-0 win for Norwich. Swansea, like I say, well, like you said, Dad, heavy win against Blackburn, which was pretty impressive. And you thought at the time that could be a kickstart for them because Blackburn have done tremendous this year. To be fair to them, since the departure of Schmodix as well, I said they'd go down. They had no chance the way they're playing. Sheffield Wednesday, obviously, they lost to them at home. And then they lost to Preston, obviously drew to QPR, like I said the other day. It's not been too great for them. Like I say, mixed opinions on the manager from their fan base. A bit like us with Rob Edwards. Now it's sort of more, backing him again. But before it was a bit 50-50. So we weren't quite getting the results and not playing how we should. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult game for sure. And like you say, there will be motivated for it. 12:30 on TV as well, early kickoff. We don't have a normal kickoff time until we play Hull, which we might be at. But obviously, I'll let you guys know.
Was it 12:30 kickoff? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll be able to catch some of it then. I would have thought.
Yeah. Just let me know.
Half or a little bit of it, but still won't give player ratings based on 20
minutes. Yeah, that's fine.
Not unless we go 4-0 up or something.
Yeah, I might see if Harry wants to player ratings with me. He'll be more than all right to watch it, and a lot of other people. I'm not sure if they're usually on the channel. I'm not sure if they'll be able to watch whole game themselves. So I'll ask him. He'll be with me, and it should be easier when it comes to that. But big up to everyone that's tuned in. Obviously, we've done it 2 days before, like I say, because it is my birthday tomorrow. I will do a video tomorrow if players are back, and then I'll do an updated lineup, like I say. So do check that out. We'll be live just under 45 minutes for the Championship show, where me and Lewis will dissect all the games. We'll talk again on the Luton game, the whole game. I want to see what he says about that. Obviously, he was there, got an impressive draw against Burnley, so that'll be interesting to see what he says about that. He has confidence going into the game on the weekend for Hull, and then obviously we'll predict all the other games. And from there on in, like I say, tomorrow, if players are back, then I'll do a video. If not, then I'll just leave it. And then Saturday, there'll obviously be a vlog. Like I say, if I manage to do a quick video outside the ground, like I did for Sheffield United, give them my thoughts on the game, then obviously I'll do that as well. And then, we'll sort of player ratings out at some point, whether that's me and Harry, or we'll go from there and see when it comes to that. But big up to everyone. Like I say, smash a like. Do check out the match reaction yesterday as well, if you haven't already. And big up to everyone that has checked that out. And we are, as it stands, 5 subscribers away from 2,100. So if we can get there as soon as possible, that would be great. And until next time, we will see you lot in a bit. So smash a like, subscribe, all of that. Follow me across all my socials. Take care and peace.